Well, thank y'all so much for being here with us this afternoon, and I can probably think of two people in the room who would know that song. Ms. Audrey Sofianis, one of the superintendents of Atlanta Public Schools, and my Deputy Chief of Staff, Michael O'Connor. Got a lot of people to introduce here this afternoon, so please be with me, and my remarks, as always, will be very brief. Big shout out to Frank Ski, my man in the music. Frank, my man. All right. And thank you, Vice Chair Ellis, for those kind remarks. And if you would hold your applause until the end, I would really appreciate it because there's quite a few. Beginning with our Board of Commissioners, stand quickly from District 1, Commissioner Bridget Thorne. All right, Vice Chair Bob Ellis, you've met. Commissioner Dana Barrett, District 3. Commissioner Mo Ivory, our newest commissioner, who's recovering today, District 4, and our former vice chair from District 6, Commissioner Khadija Abdur Rahman. A lot of our state representatives express their regret for not being able to be here this afternoon, but they're in session and doing what they need to be doing. Our mayor of our capital city, Mayor Dickens, was here earlier. I knew he had to leave, but he took time out to come by to say hello and to show his support. And by the way, you do not know this, but Mayor Dickens and I, we meet periodically, and just stay tuned for some really big announcements coming from Fulton County and the city of Atlanta in the person of the mayor. So we work really closely together in spite of what you may hear. Also, way down south, Mayor Vince Williams, Mayor Palmetto, Teresa Thomas Smith, Mayor of Mountain Park, Mayor Bill Colberner, and then former Mayor, where is Mayor Reed? Mayor Cassine Reed is also with us today. I didn't miss any mayor. Did I mention Mayor Avery from Fairburn? Mayor Avery from Fairburn. All right, council members, it's like the whole city council from the city of South Fulton is here. Yeah, all right. Council member Linda Pritchett, Council member Catherine Foster Rowell, Council member Carmelita Gums, Councilwoman Helen Willis, J.C. Sebastian, and Keosha Bell is also here, and Byron Amos from the city of Atlanta is also here. From our justice partners, Cassandra Kirk, Kenya Johnson, here with us this afternoon, and from our consular corps, Consul General of Korea. You know, I spent a lot of time in Korea, economic development. Consul General of Switzerland, and the Consul General of Nigeria, also with us this afternoon. Education, school superintendents, college presidents, and so forth. Dr. Looney would have been here, was called away at the last minute. Dr. Brian Johnson, the superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools. Dr. Victoria Seals, the president of Atlanta Area Technical College. Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, Morehouse School of Medicine. And Dr. Audrey Sofianis, my music buddy here, Atlanta Public Schools. And the executive team, Dr. Arthur Ferdinand, the tax commissioner, Dick Anderson, our county manager, Sujo, our county attorney, Anthony Nix, our county auditor, and Anthony only comes here before the chicken and the waffles each year. Yeah. He tells me that, reminds me of that all the time. Tanya Greer, our clerk, Dr. Pamela Rochelle, our chief operating officer, and Sharon Whitmore, our chief financial officer. A couple of others, Collie Greenwood from MARTA, and Anna Roach. Where's Anna? Collie and Anna, Atlanta Regional Commission. Now, special guests, obviously my wife is here. Then this crowd, I call them the Southwest Atlanta Mafia. Now, they don't get the credit for what they do, have done, and will do in the future, but these are women in Southwest Atlanta who have made Southwest Atlanta, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, and even these United States of America, what all of us represents today. Henrietta Anthony. All right. Ruby Lucas. Jan Meadows. Peggy Ross, Sue Ross, all right, and Carolyn Young. Did I get Billy Aaron? Who am I missing? Billy Aaron. Yeah, all right, all right. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. All right, so last but not least, our ambassador, our congressman, our former mayor, our civil rights leader, and to those of us who live here, just plain old Andy. Where else other than Fulton County, Georgia, can you walk up and down any street, any store, barbershop, I almost said beauty shop, but Andy probably been in beauty shops as well. Yep. And you see Andy
you get
Young,
a lot of boats in the beauty shop.
And you can talk and touch with him, a living legend right here in Fulton County, Georgia. So I'm gonna,
Well, thank you very much. But since you all are standing, I don't have to stand. But I was sitting here thinking that I've been here a long time. And I go way back to a fellow by the name of Beaufort Jones of the Woodruff Foundation when he came to Martin Luther King Sr. and asked him would he sit in on economic opportunity Atlanta as a co-chair. And then he went to Calvin Craig of the Ku Klux Klan and asked him to be the other co-chair. And that was a very significant moment in the life of this city because they're meeting together in small groups and mobilizing the city in organized districts, what do they call them? But anyway, the MARTA came, and we passed the MARTA vote by just 400 votes countywide with DeKalb. And then we've now built the world's busiest airport, and I don't need to call the roll because our chairman has been doing a very, very good job keeping this county together. And if you keep this county together, you keep the state together. And actually, we can keep the state together, we can keep the country together. And right now you can see them in Europe struggling because this country has to keep the world together. And so I want to thank all of you for being exemplary elected officials and being true to your native land and true to this county and this city and just being good people. God has blessed us. Let's pass on those blessings.
And before I begin my brief remarks, and I promise you brief remarks, I have overlooked the Representative Secretary of State, Liz Hausman is here, who is also a former member of the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County. Now I say brief because if I'm not brief, my wife is gonna give me that dirty look and I'll know that it's time to take my seat. Well, let me begin. So something we hear a lot, and that is that Fulton County is unlike any other county, that Fulton County is a big deal, and it's true. Fulton County is the most vibrant, most creative, and most thriving county, not only in Georgia, not only in the Southeast, but in the United States of America. Living here, working here, and even visiting here offers experiences you simply will not have anywhere else in this country. Now that sounds good, right? But what does it really mean? It means that opportunity is here in Fulton County. It means that young people are growing up in a place where opportunity is right here for them. It means that our companies are investing in Fulton County and they are thriving. Companies that were founded here, like Coca-Cola, Chick-fil-A, Equifax, and so many others. And companies that are moving here each and every day from around the world. And it's also worth mentioning that Georgia's single largest employer, Delta Airlines, has its headquarters right here in Fulton County. And 1/3 of all jobs and wages in the 29-county metro region are right here in Fulton County, Georgia. And in fact, out of the more than 3,000 counties in the United States of America, Fulton County was ranked the 4th county for business location by Site Selection magazine. And we're ranked 4th in the nation for the number of Fortune 500 companies. And this is not by accident, friends. And what does Fulton County mean to the region? Well, let me tell you. Without Fulton County, there is no MARTA. Without Fulton County, there is no Grady Hospital. Without Fulton County, there is no Atlantic Station. Without Fulton County, there is no Beltline. And the list goes on and on. Now let's talk about transportation. Fulton County is the transportation hub of the region. Projects like GDOT's I-285 transformation, MARTA's bus rapid transit expansion, and countless others are connecting and continuing to transform the landscape and build connections among our communities. And it is no exaggeration that you can get anywhere in the world from Fulton County, Georgia, and more. We're exploring innovative new technology to meet the transportation needs of tomorrow. Now, just last year, we planted the seeds of a personal rapid transit pilot project. That's PRT. I was intimately involved in bringing this project to South Fulton County in partnership with the Atlanta Airport Community Improvement Districts, MARTA, Clayton County, and the City of College Park. And under the leadership of Gerald McDowell, who's here today, we've awarded a contract to the Glideways Company to build this project. So stay tuned for major developments regarding this project in the very near future. And while everyone knows about the world's busiest airport, the Fulton County Executive Airport remains one of the best kept secrets in the region, one that drives thousands of jobs. Now, no disrespect to PDK, but when we finish at Fulton County, it will be one of the finest in the country. In 2024, Fulton County Airport was awarded more than $6 million in FAA funding to complete the next phase of our master plan. Now, that plan includes, believe it or not, a new customs facility at our airport, a new fire safety building at our airport, and a runway extension which will enable direct flights from our Fulton County Airport to Europe. Now that's a big deal. And our airport is just one part of the transformation that's taking place in South Fulton County along the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor and our business initiative, Renew the District. We just completed our first year of operation of the new Fulton County Animal Shelter, which I believe is the finest such facility in the world. We've also purchased 7 blighted properties. If you've ever driven that way, you've seen those old hotels that were hangouts for drugs, prostitution, you name it. We bought those for future development in South Fulton County. Let's talk about education and our workforce. And when we talk about growth and jobs, we're talking about people. And to make sure we build a connection between people and opportunity, we need the right training and the right education. Whatever job or career one seeks, there's almost certainly a program here in Fulton County to prepare you for it. There are more than 120,000 students enrolled in colleges and universities in Fulton County. That's 120,000. And in fact, even looking at the university system of Georgia, their total statewide enrollment, approximately 1/3 of that enrollment is right here in Fulton County, Georgia. And we're also home to the nation's proudest and most elite group of historically black colleges and universities: Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark Atlanta University, Morris Brown College, ITC, Morehouse School of Medicine, and some will even put Georgia State on that list as the largest black HBCU in the country, Georgia State. And I'm personally working with Dr. Victoria Seals, the president of Atlanta Technical College, to launch a logistics and commercial truck driving program right here in Fulton County, in the city of South Fulton. Now, I would be remiss to quote Commissioner Abdul Rahman, that's her favorite word, I would be remiss expression, if I didn't also mention our K through 12 school systems, Atlanta Public Schools and Fulton County Schools. Together, these systems serve more than 136,000 students and their families. And although Dr. Mike Looney is not here at this time, he was recently named Georgia's Superintendent of the Year. And I also want to congratulate Dr. Brian Johnson, who is halfway through his first year as Superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools. And thank you, Dr. Johnson, for being here. And by the way, Dr. Johnson has a son at Sutton, I believe, who is 6'2" in the 7th grade and an outstanding baseball player. He's 6'2" in the 7th grade, so stay tuned and watch out for him. But strong jobs, strong schools, these are certainly important reasons that 1.2 million residents make Fulton County their home. But as the saying goes, there's much, much more. Our quality of life. Now, since we've just enjoyed a delicious lunch, and I'll always look forward to it as well, but let's talk about, for a moment, our restaurant community. There are more than 6,000, that's 6,000 licensed food establishments in Fulton County, coffee shops, wing spots to fine dining. It's all right here in Fulton County. And some of my favorites, you know this, Hal's, where I smoke cigars, Chops, Busy Bee. My wife doesn't know it, but I go to Busy Bee for my fried food, and Pascal's. And also, there are now 18 Michelin-recognized restaurants in Fulton County and 5 James Beard finalists. That's a big deal for us. And it's a big deal because restaurants represent jobs. In the same way, Fulton County residents enjoy more than 200 parks, nature preserves, gardens, and trails across the county. Our residents have also access to the most incredible arts and cultural assets: the High Museum, the Fox Theater, Hammond's House, National Black Arts Festival, just to name a few. And by the way, even though funding the arts is not a county responsibility, Fulton County has remained the largest public contributor to the arts in the state of Georgia, and we're very proud of that. Fulton County is also home to professional sports teams, including the Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta United, Atlanta Dream, Atlanta Falcons, and we're also in the mix for a hockey franchise. And if you know cricket, which is the second most popular state in the world, we now have a cricket franchise, and A.J. Jane here is the owner of the cricket franchise, and the name of the team appropriately is the Atlanta Kings, which will be located right here in Fulton County, Georgia. And in just 16 months, Fulton County will host 8 matches for the FIFA World Cup, another big deal. Now, our quality of life services extend throughout the lives of our residents. Our world-class senior centers are packed every day and are second to none in the country. Fulton County has the largest public library system in Georgia. Fulton County is creative. Fulton County is vibrant. Fulton County is a place for big ideas. We are home to the King Center, home to the Carter Center, places that value democracy in action. Elections. In 2020, even though our elections were open and fair and transparent, we were criticized by some. And knowing that the criticism was going to continue in 2024, we built a new elections hub and operations center, which is the best of any such election center in the country. This enabled us to centralize operations under one roof. So in November of 2024, media from all over the country and 5 continents reported from our elections hub on a daily basis. And by all accounts, including our own Secretary of State, we conducted a flawless election. Our infrastructure. Fulton County's water and sewer system is among the best in the nation, and we have consistently been recognized for our award-winning water plants. In October of last year, we opened the newly renovated, which you heard earlier about, Big Creek Water Reclamation Facility, which represents an investment of $350 million, our largest capital project to date. And a similar $500 million facility is planned for South Fulton County along the Camp Creek corridor. These investments, while not sexy, protect not only our waterways, but they're vital to the overall health of the community and critical to meeting the new demands of residents and businesses as we continue to grow. Let's talk about health care, one of our direct responsibilities. In early 2023, in partnership, Dr. Montgomery Rice, with the Morehouse School of Medicine, we completed our Project CARE initiative, which helped us evaluate the impact of the closure of the 2 WellStar hospitals the previous year. As a result of that study, we've taken several important steps forward in improving access to health care, particularly in South Fulton County. In 2023, working again with the Morehouse School of Medicine, we opened a new primary care clinic in the Buggy Works complex in East Point, South Fulton County. In January 2024, we, Fulton County, along with DeKalb County, entered into a new operating agreement with Grady Hospital. Now, this new agreement included 2 new Grady clinics in Fulton County. And we're also partnering with Grady to build a new freestanding emergency department in South Fulton County. And this new facility will be an important step forward to address the ambulance response time in South Fulton County. Mental health. We don't like to talk about it much, but it's real. We're continuing our work to increase access to mental health care. The Fulton County Behavioral Health Crisis Center is now open on Metropolitan Parkway. This facility represents the best of government collaboration. Capital funding from the federal government. The donation of an existing facility by Fulton County. Operational funds from the state of Georgia. And Grady Hospital serving as the hospital operator. And we began serving clients in October and are already planning for an additional center. And I'd like to say a special thank you to Speaker Pro Tem Jan Jones for her help. And just 1 week ago today, as a matter of fact, we kicked off the renovation of the new Fulton County Health and Human Services campus in Alpharetta. This center will house public health, behavioral health, developmental disability services, senior services, and much more. And by the way, a comparable facility is planned for South Fulton County. Cybersecurity. We've just passed the 1-year mark since an attack on Fulton County by the international cyber crime ring known as Lockbit. Lockbit essentially is a gang of professional crooks, criminals. They shut down all of our systems and held us hostage. But we at Fulton County, we rose to the challenge and found new ways to provide services to our constituents while we work to retake control of our systems from the cyber criminals. And one of the most important steps taken by Fulton County during this attack was our refusal to use taxpayers' dollars to pay a ransom to the criminals. In October of last year, Fulton County, in conjunction with the Atlanta Regional Commission, we hosted our second cybersecurity summit where we shared the lessons we learned with other local governments from throughout the state. And since some states have passed legislation to prevent local governments from paying and using public dollars to pay ransoms, I'm working with our state legislature to enact such a law here in Georgia that will prohibit any local entity from paying a ransom in the future. And this, according to the FBI and Homeland Security, will serve as a huge, major deterrent for the cyber criminals who may attack us here in the state of Georgia. Our Fulton County Jail. Well, the jail is the single costliest issue facing us at this time, and we take it very seriously. In January, I and the sheriff, we signed what's called a consent decree with the U.S. Department of Justice that lays out a detailed plan for addressing conditions at our jail. And this plan was immediately approved by a federal judge. And I want to give a special thank you to our county attorney for her efforts in resolving this matter to date. We're all in this together, but while the Fulton County Sheriff's Office has responsibility for many key aspects of this work, the Board of Commissioners has committed to improving the physical conditions of the jail by committing up to $300 million for facility repairs. I say $300 million today, but in reality, it could be more, depending on what the monitor tells us that we must do. But as we begin this work, we must recognize that we have a humanitarian duty to those in our jail who suffer from mental health and mental health conditions. And that is one reason why we continue to discuss the acquisition of the Atlanta City Detention Center, which is the city jail, so that these inmates can be housed there and receive the care outside of the general jail population that they need and deserve. Also, in partnership with the City of Atlanta, we recently opened the Center for Diversion and Services, which is located in the city jail. Now, this center, operated by Grady, allows us to provide low-level offenders with mental health services and others. This will spare them from the harmful effects of incarceration. Our court system. Our court system is the largest and busiest in the Southeast, which is why we're asking the Georgia General Assembly to pass legislation to create new judgeships in state and superior courts. And just a brief word about economic development. As we all know, Georgia has been named the #1 state in which to do business for the past 11 or 12 years, and many of those businesses relocate or locate here in Fulton County. And as a direct result of the trade missions that we've been involved in, political and business leaders from around the world, in particular Korea and India, have either already opened facilities here or are planning to do so in the near future. And this year, we'll be leading trade missions to Argentina at their request, Canada at their request, Mexico at their request, Singapore at their request, and South Africa. Our millage rate. Fulton County's millage rate of 8.87 mills is a full 2 mills lower than it was a decade ago. And we've held the line for the past 3 years while continuing to provide the services our citizens pay for, enjoy, and deserve. Our stewardship, the Board of Commissioners' stewardship of our taxpayer dollars, has been recognized by leading financial institutions, which has resulted in our first ever AAA bond rating, which signifies, thank you. Now that's also a big deal for us. That signifies the market's trust in our strong financial management and governance here in Fulton County. And as we consider our financial position, we're monitoring the landscape in Washington, D.C. and the impact on the federally funded programs, the largest of which for us is our Ryan White grant. We receive approximately $38 million a year. And that funds life-saving work on behalf of people living with HIV in the 20-county metro area. So let us not forget, and this is important, and all of the great things that are happening here, but let us not forget that Fulton County, City of Atlanta, we still have some of the highest rates of HIV transmission in the world, not the United States, in the world. Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County. So brothers, we have to do better. And while we're facing challenges, we've proven time and time again that we're able to meet whatever comes our way, that we're able to meet it, whether a pandemic, a natural disaster, a ransomware attack, or whatever waits around the corner. Fulton County is resilient, and the people in this room, y'all, are the source of our strength. You are part of our fabric. And I want you to remember, as I get my signal here, and as I conclude my remarks, that Fulton County is a place where anyone can experience opportunity. So I invite you also to experience Fulton. So thank you for being with us today, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.